your ass up and wipe that crust out your eye. You're locked into the hottest morning show in the country, the Beat Break Morning Show. It's your girl Trina. Let me kickstart your day.
And we're live. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Beat Break Morning Show. The architect here, Sean Garvey. Got my brother in the studio, DJ Roll'em on the ones and twos. Good morning.
Yes, sir. What's up, man? Morning. Good morning. Man, don't even start. Don't even start. Coffee's not even ready, so don't even start.
Man, I mean, the coffee was ready moments ago. It was ready right here. I got the spoon and everything. The spoon, right, where I...
You sure it ain't hot chocolate?
It is not hot chocolate. I don't do
not
hot chocolate anymore.
All right.
I don't do, I don't. Grown as men don't do hot chocolate. But, I could be wrong.
But I've seen some men who have done it.
They each his own. Hey, but yeah, man. I do coffee. I do nothing but coffee. If I'm not doing tea or smoothie, I'm doing coffee. I'm probably gonna.
This is mine. This is mine right here.
What do you got? What are you working with?
H2O.
Man, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with H2O. But I'm probably gonna end up having 9 cups of coffee starting next week.
9?
9. Yes.
You mean 9 for a week, not 9 in a day?
No. I'm not going to even make it to the next day if I drink 9 cups of coffee in one day.
That's more than a power drink right there, man. I'm like,
yeah, man. I don't even do Red Bull as much as I used to.
Man, I can't even. Let's say this. I think the last time I drank a Red Bull, that was, it wasn't even in the teens of the 21st century yet. That's the last time I drank a Red Bull. It wasn't even in the teens. So it's been over 10 years.
Mm-hmm. You're not missing anything.
Oh, I know. I'm good. You gotta watch what you drink and eat when you get to a certain age.
Yeah. Because it'll catch up to you.
Yes.
It will definitely catch up with you.
Yes. Big time.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Indeed. I'm trying to move this banner. I'm doing some new things here from the producer side, and I'm trying to move this banner. So if you see my big ass thumb moving, that's what I'm trying to do.
That's what we see, man. That big ass thumb. Yeah. Had me thinking of some things, but okay.
It is not that kind of party.
Yeah, right.
Not that kind of party. Not that kind of party. Let me see if I can do it on my end. Because I got 3 devices in front of me, and I'm managing at least 2 of them.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're going to hear some background noise, ladies and gentlemen. So just bear with me while I work this thing out here. Okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
There we go.
There we go. Awesome. Welcome to live radio.
I'm getting tired of seeing my tiny self. Need to see my bigger self.
Right. Yeah. People say you big in person. You bigger in person.
Right. What my homie Bubba always says, so she likes it like that.
Well, where's my... Oh, there go my drum roll there. Okay. There we go. All right. Beat Break Morning Show. Welcome, Sean Garvey, DJ Roll'em. If you're just tuning in, we just got started, ladies and gentlemen. We just got started just moments ago, going into the show live. No promo or anything. Got my TV on CNN. President Trump delivers State of the Union address. Like, who cares?
You giving them ratings. That's all I can say. I ain't giving that man no dang on ratings. Last time I gave him ratings was when he was, what was that? There was that show he had, like You're Fired, The Apprentice, whatever.
The Apprentice.
Yeah, The Apprentice. Yeah. That was the last time I actually saw his show of enjoyment, and haven't seen nothing of enjoyment since then. And the only repeats I'll look at is when he was guest starring on Fresh Prince and
the Pizza Hut commercial.
I can't remember the Pizza Hut. I was thinking about
that was like in the 90s.
I was thinking about
Pizza Hut or Domino's
Home Alone in New York.
Home Alone. Oh, he was in Home Alone in New York?
Yeah, he was in a little thing when the boy was asking like where to go or somewhere, and he pointed in that direction. And the boy is an adult now. He said, "Can that be edited out?" I'm like, no, you can't do that. That's in the final production. Been like that all these years, decades. They're not going to remove that.
And you know, the Fresh Prince is in syndication. So I wonder, like, when people see that episode, if they are airing that episode, but if they are, I wonder if people cringe every time they see President Donald Trump. Well, back then he wasn't president; he was just Donald Trump. But
I don't cringe. I don't cringe on that
because he was the old Donald Trump. Well,
yeah, that was the old Donald Trump.
I respect the old same Donald Trump.
Yeah, right. You know, he had more sense back then, and whatnot. I looked at him more of as an entertainer than a politician, and never thought about him being a politician. And it was just a joke when he ran and whatnot, and just got lucky.
Okay, you might have rubbed some feathers there by you saying that. Yeah, we don't want DL Hughley to come after us.
Man, I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about no ice. I ain't worried about ice either. I like ice. I like ICE. I just call Ice Tea or something, or Ice Cube.
Yeah, I don't like ice. I don't like. I don't want to say that. I don't like ice. The only ice I like is Ice Cube, Ice Tea, and ice cubes in my cup.
That's there you go. That's right.
Anyway,
doing
man,
it like that. Doing it like that.
Man, anyway, we celebrated over the weekend.
Oh yes, that was beautiful, man.
Man, we celebrated. We celebrated a lot of different things going on. We celebrated you. We celebrated Sharia. We celebrated myself.
Right.
Post birthday parties for all three of us in that Aquarius / Pisces type of feel. Yeah.
It was
good.
Gonna
talk about it. We definitely gonna talk about that before we conclude tonight's show because we want to give our listeners and our viewers a recap of what happened over the weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, there were a lot of people. I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna just say right out the gate. There were a lot of people that I invited to the 16-year anniversary of Beat Break Radio and our Aquarius Pisces celebration, and none of them didn't show up. None of them didn't show up. Your people showed up, DJ Roller. Sharia's people showed up, but my people didn't show up. And I don't want anybody in the comment section talking about, well, Sean, you didn't send me an invitation. Yes, I did. I sure did.
My homeboy, Mike, Big Mike.
What up, Big Mike?
Wanted to see you, man. When you promoted about doing a comedy bit, you said, man, what time is it going to begin? I want to be there. That was him, man. I mean, he blew up my phone, texting me and calling me, man. He like, what time is he going to do? I want to see this and whatnot. He was looking forward to that. I was like that. Of course, you know how I do my thing, but he definitely want to hear something different. Plus, the thing about it, I'm not going to get too much into it. The thing about it is he's seen me DJ there before and is so happy to see a different vibe. And I know it's all of us, but since I worked there as a DJ, I'm in rotation. I brought that environment
Just
there.
happened.
Did you hit something?
Okay. Oh, there we go.
It's still black. Fade to black.
Oh, MG. It's the internet. We just got done talking about Trump. I don't know why the internet is acting the way that it's acting.
Really?
We on to something else.
Well.
Mic check 1 2. Are you still there, Roland?
I'm still here, man. I can see myself and everything.
I cannot hear you.
You cannot hear me. No, that's on your end.
Oh, Roland, I can't hear you. You're still talking. I can't hear you.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Damn. All right. Let's see if Roland can jump out and then come back in. Perhaps. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, you're online. I'm online too. But maybe if you jump off and then come back on, maybe that will work. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah. Try to jump off and then come back on and see what happens. I don't know if you got the message. Let me text them. Gotta love live radio. Gotta love it. Okay, he got the message. Okay, he's gonna come back on and then we're gonna pick up where we left off. We're live, ladies and gentlemen. We're not pre-recorded. We're live, the Be Brave Morning Show. 16-year anniversary. Got to give a hand clap for that. You may not hear it in the background. Roland is gonna come back on with us in just a few moments. And I'm not going to touch nothing on this phone here. So here's the thing, I'm a techie type of person and everything, and I do my thing and stuff like that. But we're in the experimental stage of making sure that we give people great quality visually. And sometimes, when I do my show live or do our show live, I do it from my laptop computer. See, but this time I'm doing it on a different device here. Let's see. Go add to stage. All right, let's try it again. Roland, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh shit. Let's see. I think Roland can hear me, but I cannot hear him.
Wow.
Let me try something on my end. Let me try something. Okay. Roland jumped off. He's going to jump back in again. All right. Woo. All right. So, like I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, I'm used to doing the show from another device, laptop, computer. And, sometimes when it comes to technical glitches, when it comes to the internet and things like that, we tend to get a delay at times. But the important thing is that we keep it going. Let's see. What they say, third time is a charm. Check. 1 2 1 2. Roll them.
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Jeez. All right, hold on. Let me try something on my end. All right, Roland, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. So it's probably my other device. It's probably my end on the device that I have in front of me. Hold on. Okay.
There we go.
That was very hood.
All I can say is fade to
That
black.
was
Back to
very
the 90s. Back to the 90s. Fade to black.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy. I'm gonna try one more thing, and then we really gonna have to pick up where we left off at. Let's see. All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
It's all right. Yeah, it's Apple. Sorry, Apple. I gotta call y'all out. It's Apple. It's Apple. It's Apple. It's Apple.
Maybe that bite messed up. The apple on the bite of the apple messed up. So did he cut himself off? Did he cut himself off? You cut yourself off.
Man, I'm trying to, bruh. It's Apple. It's Apple, man. It is
The bite
Apple.
of the apple caused this. The bite of the apple caused this.
Man. Okay, we're back. We're back. Oh, I gotta call Apple out. It's Apple. Apple, it's your fault. It's your fault with these janky phones and these devices and stuff like that. Okay. Well, all right. I ain't gonna spend much time.
Shout out to Android.
You know what? I may have to do that, bro. I may have to get another Android phone that comes with better pixels, better video quality, and start shooting from there. So I'm gonna have to do
Pixel. Get a Pixel phone.
Yeah.
Pixel would definitely change your life, because since I had this, it's going on a year. It'll be a year in July or August. This is the best looking camera phone I ever had.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to make a visit to the phone store in a few days. Yeah, I don't like this quality of me. You got better quality than I do.
Well, thank Big Sean. For getting this camera. That's the camera I'm using, and I can't wait to use my wifey's camera later on this year, so you can see the quality of how it's supposed to look. And I got rave reviews like, man, is that a new camera? No, I just maybe move it around. It just focuses like that. And here's the thing: wired internet, no Wi-Fi.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Big Sean says you can't go wrong with wired internet.
There you go. Enough said.
Yeah.
Enough said. So yeah, well, let's do this. Let's circle back to the party, because I want to hear more about Big Mike, and again, shout out to Big Mike for attending. And I can't wait till we dive more into the party from last weekend, in case you all missed it. We got different things to talk about tonight, Roland, or this morning, whatever time you're listening to the Beat Break Morning Show. A lot of trending things been going on via social media. A lot. And it hasn't even been March yet. March is next week.
Yes.
March is next week. Yeah. March is next week. And a lot of things happen during Black History Month from Black folks. I mean, come on, Black people. We got 28 days in a year to embrace what our forefathers, what our ancestors, and what our trailblazers and people that fought for us in various movements over the years. We got 28 days to celebrate, and we just keep doing some dumb ish.
They don't respect it. That's what it is. The ones that act like complete idiots and fools just don't respect it. And some of them are be the ones like, we owe them something, and you ain't put not one thing into this. Well, you're owed something though.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of it, man. But a few things I want to discuss here. Let's start from the hip hop aspect, because I was debating on whether to touch on it or not. But a lot of people talking about it, the back and forth between T.I. and 50 Cent. Yeah.
That's the freshest one that I saw today.
Yeah.
That's the freshest one, because someone put a post out saying, isn't T.I.'s library bigger than 50 Cent? And I just dropped my head. I'm like, okay, we're going there now.
Well, in all fairness, both 50 and T.I., they pretty much have an equal amount of songs that they have done over the years. I mean, if you want to also include features, yeah, 50 got just as enough as Tip, to be fair. However, 50 Cent song In the Club is the most biggest hip-hop anthem record than any other song T.I. has put out. And T.I. put out some anthems there, Bring 'Em Out. You can consider Bring 'Em Out as an anthem, right?
Mm-hmm.
But not as big as In the Club.
No, that is correct. You're saying it correct. The thing about it is, in my opinion, with T.I. is that he wanted to be labeled as King of the South. Okay. And he wanted to push out his persona into music and create the library that he did and whatnot. Also, too, they got to understand this too. From the back end on both of them, somebody helped them get to where they are. So, T.I., you know who you need to thank. And
who? L.A. Reid?
No.
Who? Tiny?
She came out first.
I have to beg to differ on that. See, Tiny came later. After trap music.
What?
Yeah, she came after.
They came out after trap.
Yeah, after trap music, Tiny came being T.I.'s better half after trap music. Really?
Okay.
This, because think about it. Like T.I.'s first album, I'm Serious. His first album was on Arista.
Mm-hmm.
L.A. Reid and all that, and we all know what went down. Of course, it didn't work out between him and L.A. Reid. But when he came back with trap music, that album, and his works with the people that he worked with and what have you, I mean, of course, DJ Toomp. Now we can say that DJ Toomp, very instrumental, keyword instrumental, producer DJ Toomp. I would say he was the one, if not one of the ones, that helped took T.I. to the next level in the game, musical wise. Him and DJ Toomp is like Eric B and Rakim. Because, I mean, think about it. His actual first single off of the I'm Serious album was with the Neptunes, Pharrell Williams.
Right.
And that, great collaboration, because they did work on other songs too, including his latest one, Let 'Em Know, with just Pharrell. but it's definitely nothing like that T.I. and DJ Toomp collab.
Well, you're going to classic mode and way back mode and whatnot. Early to mid 90s, I'd say between like 93 to 96 was like probably the best hip hop era of what it was trying to get to. It was like it was in beginning stages, like late 80s, early part of 90s, but then 93, late 92, 93 to 96 was like, God dang, man, you were like so happy to get hip hop in that time frame. And when T.I. came out, I was like, huh? You know, because I just love New York stuff. I'm a New York fanatic.
Same here.
And when 50 Cent came out with that and in the club, man, I mean, that just blew him up like crazy. So yeah, the library may be about the same, but you know, it's like this. I gotta say his name, but it's the truth. Diddy, you know, he started a lot of stuff, lots of classics and whatnot, but you know, and that's why they didn't want to do a versus with Jermaine Dupri. I mean, all he had to do is say certain names, and you're like, I had a Janet, I had a Mariah Carey song, but that's it. A couple songs.
Yeah, you know what? I think we would have had a Diddy and a Jermaine Dupri if that whole thing didn't happen.
True.
I think, you know, it was just a matter of course, time and getting things together and what have you. And then here comes this, oh. Now what? Now Jermaine Dupri, he can't battle anybody. He damn sure ain't gonna battle Dr. Dre.
You be an idiot. You be an idiot. Now, one person you could battle, but it's gonna be funny. One person you could battle.
Who? Teddy Riley?
Timberland. I know Teddy. Are you crazy? Yeah. I said Timberland.
I mean, I'm close with the T's. I'm close.
Yeah, I know. Timberland.
Teddy Riley. He's going around promoting his new book.
Mm-hmm.
So, Remember the Times, and a lot of stuff he is revealing and everything, and of course, his separation from both Guy and Blackstreet.
Mostly Blackstreet. He said that on Unsung. If I got an apology, he said that.
If Teddy Riley is not in Blackstreet anymore, then to me, the group now is just called Chauncey's Group. Street. Just Street or Chauncey's Group.
Or Chauncey's Group.
Or like you said, Street. Just Street.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have Blackstreet without Teddy
Riley. That is absolutely true. My homeboy, shout out to X and whatnot. He goes around the country with Keith Sweat and whatnot, and met Teddy Riley, of course, doing all this. And that Teddy got a Library of Congress and whatnot. So you don't even battle and whatnot, as in library with Teddy, because he did his homework and did his thing, with Guy and without Guy. And I'm not even including Blackstreet in it. So he did his thing, man. I mean,
come on now. Let's be real. How is the Backstreet Boys going to still be together and still perform and still doing their thing, but no Black?
You said the wrong name. You said Backstreet.
Well, that's my point. That's what I'm saying. How is the Backstreet Boys going to keep performing. Everybody's still in the same group. Ain't nobody left. Still the same members. But now Blackstreet, that's what I'm saying. So
they'll be lucky. They'll be lucky enough if they can perform it in a club or something, because they gotta be like so low that Teddy can't hear about it and whatnot, because he'll go after the money that they make. So
it's all about the money.
It's all about the money.
It comes down to the bottom line. It's all about the money.
Yeah.
All about the money. But back to T.I. and 50 Cent.
50 Cent, right. Mm-hmm.
Right, 50 Cent. Because, of course, T.I. dropped a new diss track. I think he dropped 2 diss tracks. I heard one of them a day or so. And it ain't no Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us, or any other diss song I've heard in the past where I was like, oh, whoa, you know what I mean? But right. It wasn't that bad though. It wasn't trash, even though people said it was trash, or they didn't feel like it wasn't enough for Curtis to respond back to. But there were a few punchlines that T.I. made in the song that I was like, oh, okay. But I can't put it in the list of the best diss songs of all time. Like, I can't put it in the same category as Ice Cube's No Vaseline or Nas' Ether. I can't put it in that same classroom. But it's not trash though. It's all right.
It's not trash, but guess what? It's not big time commercialized either. When you get commercialized for certain stuff, that's when it gets bigger than what it's supposed to be. And I don't think he's looking for that right now.
Well, I mean, he did send it to a commercial radio station, Hot 107.9 here in Atlanta. So, I mean,
is it on repeat?
See, I don't know. I don't listen to that station anymore. I don't.
Right, that terrestrial, yeah.
Since they took off a lot of the big names that I grew up listening to off the air and everything, I just don't listen to that station anymore. I mean, no shade to Hot 107.9 in Atlanta, but I don't listen.
Here's the thing with that. Here's the thing. What the DJs? I haven't heard any DJs really mention that. I mean, I guess that's the I guess I have to hear the more established ones playing it in their set. That'll let you know if it's worth the being played a lot, because you don't, unless you put it in a mix show, like on your stream or battle, whatever the case may be. Would that be a good song to use as on a battle and know how to cut it on the verses, right? So that's the only thing that comes to my mind with that. I'm not a battle DJ. Don't plan on being. I battle 1 or 2 times, and I'm like, I'll let y'all handle that. I'm good. I can still do my thing, but it's, you got to know what to do with the song that is out. Either help promote the actual artist or the verses pretty good. You can do your thing, and if it's not being used, it's just out there to see what people say, and that's what it is.
Yeah, man, you gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
You said facts. You said facts. That's true. That is truth.
Yeah, know when to hold them. Yeah, know when to fold them.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But people are still waiting to see how 50 is going to respond, other than just trolling and putting out pictures and what appears to be some like AI pictures and videos. Like, I just came across, I don't know if it came directly or it came from 50 Cent himself, but his picture of him sitting courtside with Tip's wife Tiny and being all mushy.
So he likes making drama instead of coming back with being creative.
I always saw him as another Tupac. I mean, think about like what I just mentioned. of the picture that's going around the internet of him sitting next to Tiny courtside at a basketball, what appears to be a basketball game or what have you, that instantly reminded me of the picture of Pac and Faith Evans.
Right.
When she was, of course, when she was in a relationship with Biggie.
Married to Biggie.
Married to Biggie, exactly. So, I mean, don't that remind you of something? I just... I mean, it's hip hop. I get it. It's hip hop. It's hip hop. People want to see if 50 is going to get in his bag and his music bag and, you know, do it this song like he did in the first earlier years of him rapping. I mean, look, the beef between him and Ja Rule, which is the never-ending beef, the never-ending beef of all beefs in hip hop history. When
Ja Rule always gonna lose. It's being real.
I mean, you know,
he thinks his voice sounds tough, but you know, are you really? I mean, you know.
Well, you know, they say short guys have big voices.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you know.
Okay.
I mean, speaking of which, Tip, T.I., you know, T.I. Tip, he ain't 6'1", you know, and neither is Ja Rule.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But yeah, we just see a lot of these artists emulate the artists that we have seen in the 90s and the beefs and stuff like that in hip hop. I mean, again, it's hip hop. Hip hop was built off of rivalry and battles and stuff like that. But it seemed like it's going too far now, you know, because all T.I. wanted to do was do a versus battle with 50. And it sounded to me, from what I heard, 50 was cool about doing it at first, but then 50 changed his mind or whatever. And T.I. felt some type of way about it and everything. And now they back and forth on the internet. And 50 just going after not only Tiny, at his son King after King responded in an Instagram video. A lot of back and forth, you know.
So to me, what people are doing, and they like to get personal, and when you get personal, that's when feelings get hurt. And then not only feelings get hurt, certain things can still go down that, like, dang, you went there. And both of them don't need to be in any kind of trouble because they'll be behind bars for the rest of their lives.
Well, I mean, it got personal. I mean, we can say the same thing about Kendrick and Drake because down the line, it got personal.
Yeah, it got personal, but I'm saying when you get personal like that, you don't want no Tony Montana stuff coming out.
Tony Montana.
You don't want that coming out.
Say hello to my little friend.
I mean, that can happen, man. I mean, you just don't want to get to that point because even though they aren't supposed to be around certain things, they still around it. They just make sure keep the cameras around to make sure I am not in any of them.
Oh man. Oh, you know. But here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why can't it just be a versus battle between Tip and Ludacris? People have been asking for that for years. Now Tip already did Luda. Luda already did a versus battle with Nelly.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even watch it because I didn't care for it. And I didn't care for it, and I thought that it wasn't a good matchup. Both guys
they were more joking than anything and whatnot. And I guess here's the thing with verses. I guess to me, it ain't enough money. It was the only type of money during the pandemic because it was the pandemic. But now no one's being creative to do something bigger than it is to be verses, but it should be something like focus. I don't know. I mean, maybe
Do you know how much money over the years that Swiss and Timberland have been doing this to put in not only the time, the effort, but to get all these stages and to get all these sponsors, and now it has become big. It went from two people participating in a friendly competition while staying their asses at home during the pandemic, and now people are doing these versus battles on stages where a lot of money.
That's old school, though. That's old school, and that should be like that, because I mean, the true verses really was in the streets and whatnot,
right?
So I don't know if it's a money thing or I've outgrown it. It's like how Jay-Z feels like I ain't got to outdo anybody. Look at me now. Even though in order for him to get to where he is now, he had to do what he did, so. But some people are into themselves thinking like, I'm bigger than better than this now. I don't need to prove anything and whatnot because I already established, I grew out of it. I'll hit a couple bars here now and then and whatnot. It's like an example. And I'm not saying he will say yes to it, but I would love to see someone battle LL Cool J. Because he loved to battle. He loved it. But, his career went to another direction and whatnot. And then he dropped an album like a year or so ago. But is he interested in doing a battle with somebody? Could he really do it?
He said it himself in that I Shot You remix. Crush Mo D, Hammer, and Ice-T's Girls. So, and don't forget Cannabis. Like
that's what I'm saying. That was back then, but since the late 90s, early 2000, he went a whole nother direction and whatnot. So that's why I say he wouldn't mind doing it because he loves the art. And that's what he promotes. It's the art of doing it. So if you have the art to do it, why not do it and whatnot? If you want to, I don't know, just do it for the love of it instead of just thinking like, how much money can I get out of it? Or I ain't got time for it. I'm better than this.
But who do you think can go up against LL at this point in time?
At this time?
Yes. Who do you think can go up against LL at this time?
It would be nice, but it ain't gonna happen. Nas.
Why do I think you was about to say Nas? Why do I think you was gonna say Nas?
Yeah, that's the only one I could think of is Nas, man. And LL. That would have been Man.
Whew.
Man, that would be a breathtaker right there.
Man. Because LL since the 80s,
right.
If there was another artist that kept it going from the 80s all the way up to present time to now, that can go toe to toe to LL Cool J, that would be super, super dope. That would be super, super dope.
But see, he loves the art. See him and Nas love the art of it. Why you think Nas got nominated all those times for Grammys, never won one, and they finally gave him one and whatnot? And he like, yes, now I appreciate it. Thank you, because he's been nominated for so many times, so many years, but never got an actual Grammy. Now you got it and whatnot.
Yeah, but that the Nas going up against LL, that's not gonna be everyone's. And even though I knew you was gonna say Nas, but that's not gonna be most people's first choice.
I know.
When it comes to Nas, like people's choices against Nas would be Common, would be Common.
I'd rather see Common and Q-Tip.
Jay-Z.
I want to see Common and Q-Tip go at it. That would have been a dope
Oh,
one.
hell no. Oh no. Absolutely not.
I'm just saying that would have been a dope one.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
Q-Tip and Common. Yeah, man.
No. Common, and all due respect, and I know you are a Tribe fan, DJ
Right.
I know you're a Tribe fan, and I'm a Common fan.
Right.
Common will crush the hell out of Q-Tip.
Only time will tell, man. And see the thing about it, we are naming the last four. We're naming artists that have the love of the art. That's the key thing. It's like, yes, you can make some money off of it and whatnot, but what about the art of it? That's my thing. And how many new ones, present ones, and old school love the art of it. More likely, the old schoolers and some of the present ones would love the art of it. But the newer ones, man, I don't know. And then some of them, like a 50 Cent, it's like, well, look what I did with Stars, and y'all looking at what's that? Ghost? Is that it on Stars? Power, yeah. And whatnot. Ghost must be one of the characters. I know I heard Ghost, but look what he has done, and he's like, I'm better than this. I mean, look what Jay-Z has done. He's the main guy of Super Bowl halftimes and got other stuff going on. He ain't thinking about the roots and whatnot. And that's the roots. If we would never have heard you if you ain't done what you have done. Period. So
yeah, but the bigger you get in this game, you're not going to invest time, if you will, in other things that, to your point, that you may look at it and be like, okay, if I was still on this level, then yeah, I would be on this person's platform, this, that, and the other. But for some artists, this is never going to happen. Some artists are not going to go on Drink Champs.
No.
Some artists are not going to go on some of these podcasts and some of these shows and stuff. Some of them are not going to even do interviews unless it's in another country, in another foreign land, not in America. Everybody pick their own battles.
Right.
Everybody pick their own battles at the end of the day. But yeah, we're just going to have to see how this is going to continue to unfold, because this is not going to stop. Especially when you include 50 in the situation, this is going to be ongoing until
he shoots another documentary.
Right. Great segue, by the way. Great segue to documentaries. So you heard me, ladies and gentlemen, say this a few times, that I was not going to watch the Diddy documentary, The Reckoning, executive produced by Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, that we just talked about. But I decided to watch it for research purposes. All right. And I already knew going into watching this documentary what I was going to watch, what I was going to expect, and stuff and everything. And I still stand 10 toes down by saying to a few people offline that I really think this is kind of somewhat of a waste of time. Seeing this, a waste of energy, waste of time and viewership and stuff like that. But the other side of me was curious because, again, I'm watching this for research purposes. In the event that I were to have a conversation like this with other people, especially with me coming from the hip hop world. And I saw the documentary in its entirety. I will say this, there were a few video footage and some things that I did not know or seen before watching the documentary. Prime example. So speaking of Nas, right? You know how we just do this full circle in the hip hop. So obviously we know that Nas and Puff Daddy at the time, before he became known as Diddy, did a song together and did a music video together called Hate Me Now in 1999. And this was around the time when I was still in high school. So I'm telling my age a little bit. But I saw the video. I didn't see the video when it first premiered. Now, the video first premiered on MTV, right? And there was some controversy around it because when the video first premiered, it showed Puff Daddy being nailed and crucified on the cross. I didn't see it when it first premiered on MTV. I saw the video afterwards. But when I saw the video afterwards, I didn't see Puff Daddy being nailed to the cross. The only person I saw that was on the cross was, of course, Nas. Because what happened, just to rewind the tape back for those that may not know, Puff Daddy went to Steve Stout, and him and his entourage attacked Steve Stout after Puff Daddy demanded Steve Stout to take that part out of the video because Hezekiah Walker called Puff Daddy out about doing that. And what happened. You know, they went to Steve Stout office and attacked him because Steve Stout refused to take that part out of the video. And somehow that part of the video got taken out. And they replaced it with Nas being on the cross. I say all that to say that more than 20 some years later.
Hold up real quick.
Okay. So DJ Roland got to step away for one moment. This is the Beat Break Morning Show with Sean Garvey and DJ Roland. And let me also put this as well, too, because we need y'all support. Cash App, donate now to Reach One Communications, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. $ Reach One Communications to support the show. You can make a contribution right now while you're watching the show, or you can make a contribution after watching the show. We need your support. And this is a good time to bring this up while DJ steps away from the microphone. So the Honey channel is currently down for a number of reasons. Okay. We've been broadcasting live on the Honey channel since it first premiered in 2024. And now we're going to be moving over to a new service provider that would give us the opportunity to keep the channel going 24/7, 365 days a year. But in order for us to keep things going, we need your support. Okay? Everything that we do, 365, 24/7, we run off of a machine. Okay? I'm not going to get into the whole technical engineering lingo with you guys here, but we do pay other parties, third parties, to help keep this thing going. Okay, so we need your support, we need your help. $ Reach One Communications. None of this would not be possible without your support. But again, the Honey channel is currently down. Don't worry, folks, it's not going to be down forever. It is not the end of Honey. We will be back sometime in March and give you new episodes and new programming and even older content that you have saw when the app was running on Roku. And also to give you all some updated information, we're going to be seen not just only on Roku, but also on Amazon Fire TV. And the challenging thing behind that is that we also have the Reach One Network app available on Amazon, but we know that people don't have a Roku TV. Instead, they have an Amazon Fire TV, and they have to download the Reach One Network app to access the Honey content and other subsidiaries under Reach One Communications. And we thought, okay, that's too much because it leaves customers and viewers confused on where to go to get to our content. But we're going to make it a lot more easier for you all to watch Honey by it being exclusively on Amazon Fire TV and on Roku TV. So that way you won't have to download the app and go through here and go to there and stuff to get to the Honey channel. We're going to make it more easy for you once we migrate over to our new service provider that's going to help us out with that. But we still want you to download the app, Reach One Network app, available on Amazon. But yes, that's the announcement, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you didn't catch it. The Honey channel has been down for the past few days. So again, ladies and gentlemen, for those that have been asking me or wondering what happened to the Honey channel, is it gone? It did it do an MTV? Is MTV gone? I mean, have y'all did an MTV? No, it's not dead. It's not dead. We're just moving over to a new service provider to help keep the content going 24/7. But in the meantime, between time, donate $ Reach One Communications to support the show. All right. All the information is down at the bottom of the screen there. DJ Rollum is back. All right. Taking care of some business behind the scenes.
Right.
So back to the conversation at hand with the documentary. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So in the documentary, they showed the part of Puff Daddy being nailed to the cross and how that affected Puff Daddy to where he went and confronted Steve Stout. And, we learned what happened. And that part was mentioned in the documentary. So they, of course, highlighted that in the documentary and a few other things in the documentary that I had no idea happened.
I have a question though.
Yes.
If on that type of thing, some people get sensitive with stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
How did 50 Cent get that? Did he get it from Nas? Did he get it from that producer? How?
No, I don't think he got it from Nas. And Nas, he doesn't want any part of this or what have you. I think it was other parties involved that 50 and his team got. I don't even think Nas even had that footage or even owned that footage because, again, these are other people involved. So yeah, man. But it's a lot of stuff. I won't give too much away for people that haven't seen the documentary yet and probably want to see it and what have you. But there are things that I am now convinced that Diddy was a part of, especially in the assassination of Tupac. I saw some evidence there. And the crazy thing about it, because me and DJ Rollum, right? We've heard so many conflicting stories over the years of who was really the mastermind behind the assassination of Tupac and Biggie Smalls from 1996 all the way up to now. It was like, we heard so many conflicting stories from, Suge Knight was the one that got Pac killed, and Tupac is not alive. Suge Knight shielded Tupac, and Tupac escaped out of the car, and now he's in the Bahamas and stuff like that. We heard so many conspiracy theories over the years about what happened to Tupac, and so it's like it seemed like more than 20 years now. Well, no, it's going on 30 years. Going on 30 years now. 30 years, all this new stuff is coming out. And you just be like, wow, I never thought about that until now, because leading up to the assassination of Tupac was the video footage of Pac and Suge Knight and their gang going and beating up who appeared to be Orlando, who was later assassinated as well. One of the gang members, a part of the gang crew. And now, Keefe D spoke out about it years ago, which landed him incarcerated to this very day. I mean, it's a story of so many years of the who done it, like who's responsible, this, that, and the other, and everything. But from what I saw in the documentary, it's like a lot of things have came to light, and then some disturbing things too that you never seen, especially Puff's mistreatment of women. Not to mention the infamous hotel tape that we all saw of him attacking and beating up Cassie. A lot to make out of that documentary. A whole lot to make of it. Would it be something that I will watch again? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Have you seen the documentary in its entirety, DJ Bo?
No. How long is it? 90
Well,
minutes?
it's a 3-part. It's like a 3 to 4 part. I gotta go on and look at it for accuracy purposes, but it's like a 3 to 4, 5-part event.
Oh. Sound like I gotta have some time to really look at it.
I can give you the exact amount of episodes of the event. I'm pulling it up right now, but it's definitely something you have to kind of sit down and watch and analyze for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what you take away from it is what you take away from it. But yeah,
back to what I said, he's on another level, and he is not going to. I mean, he'll be nice, but I can't see him doing a battle because of how he thinks now, because of how he sits.
And you talking about 50 Cent?
That is correct.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if 50 Cent wants to do a battle, he would want to do it on his own terms, and it would have to be somebody that he could see himself
beating
or being competitive with. So yeah. I this back and forth between him and Tip, and you know, Tip is getting ready to drop his new album, Kill the King. So that could also be a ploy of people being more anticipated for his new album to drop. Because sometimes in hip hop, people and artists would drop diss songs days and weeks before their album drop, just so it can just add more publicity for people to go and support the album. So yeah, I mean, this is Tip's biggest comeback ever in hip hop. Like,
it's been over?
It's been a few years.
It's been over 10 years, right?
No. His last album was Dime Trap. And that was, and you all can correct me if I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen in the chat, that was back in 2018, 2019.
Okay. And no, it haven't been 10 years, but it's been a long time.
Since I met you, without a dope beat to step to. So we're going to figure out how many episodes this has been. But I don't know, man. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I still think it. Yeah, and going back to the T.I. and Ludacris thing. Oh, I just passed it. Going back to the T.I. and Ludacris thing, that would be more of a better battle, only because it does. And not only that, it would look great for hip hop, but it would also look great for Atlanta.
Got that right.
Atlanta hip hop.
You know, who could probably get them two to do it?
Who?
Current mayor.
Andre Dickens.
Yeah, that's right.
Only Andre could do it.
Only Dre can do it, man.
Only Dre can do it.
Only Dre can do it. Because he's around their age, and he definitely loves both artists and whatnot, and sees where they both came from in the A and whatnot. So that's why I say he can definitely do it, because I went to high school with him, with the mayor of Atlanta, and his persona is the same way when it was back in high school. So That's why I say if that really needed to be done outside of politics and whatnot, he's the only person I could think that can really get those two together to do something like that to help promote it. Like I can see that probably happening
Are you
towards the summer.
you're trying to put Andre Dickens, our own mayor of Atlanta, to be a Don King? Because that's what it sounds like to me. You're trying to make Andre Dickens the Don King of hip hop.
Well, if you want to put it like that, then we're gonna wait until after the games this summer. Then, if you want to put it into a Don King kind of thing and whatnot. So yeah,
The FIFA Cup.
Yeah, the FIFA Cup. I couldn't know. I know it was the games. I just couldn't think of that. I didn't even want to just say soccer, but I want to say the proper name for. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. Oh, Sean Combs' The Reckoning is a 4-part series. So it's 4 episodes in total. 4 episodes. Yeah. Not
up to 4 hours or more.
Yeah. And you decide if it was definitely worth watching or not. But again, like I said, I was watching it for research purposes.
I'll be looking at it for entertainment, but I don't know.
It's not really, it's not really entertaining about it or whatever. It's just people coming out saying what they said about Diddy and how he has mistreated so many people on the Bad Boy and in his circle and this and that.
Okay.
We already knew before.
Okay. Let's go a little bit deeper in this. Okay. Tell me one person who has reached to a certain level. I'm talking about like a high level, like multi-millionaire and all that stuff, who ain't had nothing, went to multi-millionaire and didn't do nothing. Some of them got caught, some of them didn't.
I can't think of anybody.
None. Yeah, exactly. None, but nobody. Even people that we made like a Bill Gates or something like that. He did some crap and whatnot to get to where he's at.
But I mean, are we talking about in music and hip hop and entertainment, or are we talking about in general?
In general.
Oh,
everybody stepped on somebody, or I'm not even just say somebody, people to get to where they are and whatnot, and they just happen to get caught and like, oh dang, I got caught and whatnot. That's how it is.
I mean, you have a right. You have a point. I mean, but I think of people like Chris Gardner and Byron Allen, right? Maybe there have been some things that were questionable that the two gentlemen have been a part of or have done that they can look back in life and regret that got them to where they are. But for the most part, their track record, despite the
minor
stuff, it's not as some of the multi-millionaires. I mean, from the Jay-Z's of the world to Donald Trump, we can make the same argument about
exactly
our current president.
Yes, exactly. You say that title. I ain't saying that title. But
I said for you.
The occupant in the White House. But yeah, because I don't know, man. It's they always had you got the old saying, money is the root of all evil. And I just know that usually the more money you make, the more something you got to do to keep that money keep flowing. It's like a dominance. You got to make sure you are in total control of it. That's how I see it. So, like, if I become a millionaire, I want to be quiet as much as possible because you're gonna be looked at to do certain things. I don't want to be out in the open like that.
And see, that's why folks like Jay-Z to even Dr. Dre are not the same type of men that they were a long time ago. I mean, even back to 50 Cent, because 50 Cent still trolls Jay-Z to this very day.
You got no choice. He wants to be that level. he ain't gonna get there.
Yeah, but he's trying to poke the bear though. He's trying to poke the bear for Jay-Z to go back to the Jay-Z that he
I
was in the
understand.
90s, you know. But now Jay-Z, he got that FU money and all this other stuff. Does he really have to does
I
he
like how
really
you say,
have to respond? Does
I
he
like how
really
you say
respond?
he got FU money. I don't care. Here's a couple mil. Hey, I could throw a bill, you know.
And I got a house on the hill. How does that
Yeah,
make you feel?
right. I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, you know, I don't know. It's just that we're going we're going to do this. We're going to basically do it like this, and it's just real. We're going to love some 50 Cent in the club. That's going to be a request song forever and whatnot.
You played it at our party.
Right, exactly.
Your anniversary party last weekend. So
Yeah.
that's why I said earlier, if you put 50 up against T.I., I mean, come on now, just that one record alone in the club. I mean, that's it. That's it. Just and then whoever 50 brings out, whoever he brings out. I mean, if it like, let's be real, let's be honest, people. If 50 decides to do a battle against Tip, because in these versus battles, there will be special guests that will come out.
Right.
We've seen that happen with the previous versus battles recently, even the latest one. Well, before the producer battle between who was it? Hit Boy and Mike Will Made It. Nobody didn't care for that. Nobody. We're not going to even talk about that. We're not.
Right.
But the Cash Money and No Limit battle. Okay. And then before that, there were other versus battles where there were features and special guests came out and what have you. Okay, let's see. Let's look at it like this. Let's analyze this. T.I. versus 50 Cent. Who would T.I. bring out as special guests? Who would T.I. bring out?
Bone Crusher.
That's a maybe. That's a maybe.
Okay.
T.I. is going to bring it. First of all, T.I. is going to bring out his own people. PSC. Dro. That's his right-hand man. Young Dro. Shoulder Lean. We can put that in the T.I. category. Even though that's Dro's song, we can also put that in there. Who else that T.I. could bring out? Well, Killer Mike. Let's throw Killer Mike in there. Let's throw Killer Mike in there. We can throw Killer Mike in there. Who else, DJ Roland? Killer Mike, PSC, Dro.
It would be a surprise. He wouldn't do it. I know he wouldn't do it. But it'll be a shock if he did, because there'll be a total shock because of how he established himself currently.
And who would that be?
Future.
I can see that. I can see Future coming out.
Because it'll be a special knockout punch. That's because he'll be considered the knockout punch because of Future's catalog and whatnot.
Okay. All right. Okay. We're going to stop there. Okay. Now let's look at 50 Cent side. G Unit. Buck may come out. Lloyd may come out. Tony Yayo, of course. No question. Uncle Murder.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. They're that's why I say this is probably why it's not going to be a good idea, because it may get violent on stage, especially if you put Uncle Murder and Tony Yayo after what we have seen on the plane with them and Ja Rule. Yeah, But anyway, but we were just speaking hypothetically now. We just speaking hypothetically, people.
Mhm.
Okay, the whole G Unit crew. All right, who else could come on stage that 50 Cent could bring on stage, right? Because he doesn't get along with everybody. I mean, he just, or doesn't mess around with too many people. But who's currently still on good terms with 50? Let's see. 50 is, especially if you're talking about one of his hits, PIMP, Snoop, D-O-double-G.
Um,
I'm just saying, Roland. I'm just saying.
Here's a knockout punch. I ain't
That's going to be a knockout punch.
I ain't saying Snoop is not a knockout punch because of the collaboration of the show. He could bring in Method Man.
50 bringing out Method Man
as a knockout punch because he's trying to keep everything NY. That's why I said Snoop is not a bad knockout punch, but because of the NY.
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think, because Method is on a different frequency now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I'm saying as a knockout thing to come out. I'm thinking. I
don't know. I think it ain't going to be too many people that's going to come behind 50 in this arena, in this stage, in this scenario. Mm-hmm. I mean, we talking about New York. I mean, you can't get no more New York than G Unit. Again, Lloyd, Uncle Murder, Tony Yayo, Buck. Boom. Okay. Snoop Dogg making a surprise appearance. PIMP. Now, here's would be not just only a knockout punch, but a punch where you can't even get your ass off the floor. You might have to go to the hospital in a few hours. Eminem. That's it. Eminem.
Okay.
Okay. Eminem, that's it. Eminem. And I'm not saying this other person may come out because he's much more busier than ever before. And more than a knockout punch, but somebody that'll put you in a coma, and you're probably not going to be able to wake up. Kendrick Lamar. That would be 50 Cent's team. That would be 50 Cent's team. See,
lost, T.I. You lost, T.I. You lost. Hands down, you lost.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to do a tag team. You got to get like T.I. and Luda together just to do against that right there. So
now Luda's going to be like, hey, man, you got this, man. You got this. It's just, That's it. But that's it. That's it.
And guess what? Guess who will make a surprise appearance, but he ain't gonna say nothing.
Who?
Greg Street. I just had to go there. I had to go there. Greg Street will make a special appearance.
He's just gonna be Greg Street. He's just gonna be just doing this right here, man.
And selling tennis shoes.
Yeah, 6 o'clock. Greg Street block.
Shout out to Greg Street, man. I mean, he's a pioneer of this, man. So,
yeah, man. We just celebrated his anniversary
in
Atlanta radio. Shout out to Greg Street, man. But that's it. That's it, man. Hands down. Moving right along. Moving right along from that drama to more drama. So back over to Netflix, right? Because everything is on Netflix nowadays. I saw another documentary over the weekend. And the other documentary that everybody's been talking about online, of course, is the Tyra Banks America's Next Top Mom documentary. Now, the show that aired for many years in the 2000s, of course, highlighted and showed a lot of women from all over the world coming on the show to compete in a modeling competition and competing against each other to see who would be, of course, America's Next Top Model. And Tyra Banks, being the executive producer and the creator of the show, has held that show down for X amount of years, for many years. And they have this thing where it's not seasons, it's cycles. So that's the difference between, shooting a season where you're doing it in cycles where you have one cycle of 10 or more episodes during one particular period, one particular season, then you come back in another quarter and you do another cycle. That's how it goes. That's how it is in television. Mm-hmm. And so, of course, the documentary that premiered on Netflix a few days ago, it caused a lot of eyeballs to go over and to watch what really happened behind the scenes and to relive a lot of the not so great moments that people have saw during its tier on a Once Upon a Time channel called UPN. Mm-hmm. And we don't have to really spend time, DJ Roland, doing all the breakdown of what all got covered during the documentary and everything. You can check it out for yourself if you have a subscription to Netflix. My takeaway from the documentary, well, let me just say this. I wasn't an avid watcher of America's Next Top Model. I was watching other things, but because I'm not a model myself and I'm not in that world, the show never really prompted me to watch every episode or watch every cycle of it because it didn't speak to me. I couldn't relate to it. I'm not in that world. But the show itself, though, did start a lot of careers for some, not a whole lot, but for some people like Eva Pickford, who went on to, after the show, after being on America's Next Top Model, she went on to do television shows and movies because of her appearance on America's Next Top Model. Same thing with Takora. We're talking about two African-American women that got their start on a reality show that ran for so many seasons, so many cycles, and they ended up getting different opportunities in the television and film industry. Mm-hmm. But there have been some women that were not lucky. There was one woman that were on the show, and she was put in a situation where she was drunk, heavily drunk, and she was in a space full of men to where men took advantage of her. We can't say the exact term online, but she was taking advantage, and it not only made her look bad on television, but it also caused the breakup between her and her boyfriend at the time, because her boyfriend because she was assigned or told by producers of the show to call her boyfriend and confess to him that she got it in with a group of men during the taping of the show. And he accused her of cheating and stuff. And that's what that pivotal moment on the show caused their relationship to end. And so you got people like her and a few other women on the show that spoke out about it on the documentary. And then, of course, you have the 3 judges that were on the show talk about it in the documentary as well, including Tyra herself, Tyra Banks, who talked about her experience on the show. And there were people that were saying that Tyra Banks didn't apologize, this, that, and the other. She did apologize a few times on the show. If you was really paying attention word by word with what she was saying, she did apologize a few times. I think people didn't feel like she was totally sincere or totally remorse from what all took place during the taping of these episodes, during these shows. And so now Tyra Banks is being looked at as a person who not only manipulated, but who destroyed the lives of a lot of women that have been on the show. I mean, she's looked at as a monster now. And cancel culture, of course, still exists online, and people are wanting to cancel her. Yeah. Your take. I mean, again, I wasn't an avid watcher of America's Next Top Model when it first came out, but I find this to be very interesting for a show like this or for a documentary, if you will, to come on out, and now people are in, especially social media people, they are in a frenzy about how these models were treated during their time on the show. Let's say you.
First and foremost, before you even do anything like that, I know they had it back then, even though it was early 2000s, whatever. The disclaimer. I know you had to sign something. Nothing is promised and whatnot. You'll get X number of dollars per show or whatever. And if you do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. You do have a choice to say no on certain things if it's not against the clauses of the contract. Like you were mentioning about that model who basically cheated on her boyfriend and whatnot. She could have said no, unless she knows that it's going to promise me to get to the next level. So you can't blame someone who you happen to go on the show and do your thing, and you don't go higher than what you were expected to. Like you were mentioning about those two models that went to the next level. It's now guaranteed when you go on these shows thinking like you're gonna go to the next level. Like, just being an example, this it's a similar thing, but it is what it is. America's Got Talent or the next whatever and whatnot. You may win, and you may get like an album or something right afterwards when you guarantee. But if America don't like you, or even not being pushed by the record company to do the next level, you ain't going nowhere. So in the modeling thing, it's the same scenario. You got to know how to say no when it's not right, and you're not guaranteed. You would like to. You put a lot of time. You sacrifice and blah blah. But that's just how the entertainment is. There's no guarantee that you're gonna go to the next level, and you can't blame somebody just because they happen to be in charge and whatnot because you signed your name on that contract.
I have a couple of questions. I'll start with my first one. With America's Next Talent, America's Next Top Model, do you think it was a waste of time to show that documentary? And it's not to take away from what the women have been through. I mean, my hearts go out to women that have been impacted by that show in a negative way and what have you. But the reason why I asked that question is because America's Next Top Model, to me, even going back and looking at the episodes and just looking at the whole frequency of the show and everything, it's no different from American Idol. It's no different from all these other competition reality shows that we have seen in years. It's no different, and there's no documentaries being put out there, at least not yet.
Not yet, because it's still playing. It's just on a different network, but they are still playing. And once that 100% completely ends, you're gonna see some stuff. and they're gonna go back to the original judges with that. And I know they did some stuff. I know they did. I know that a lot of stuff was said and whatnot, but it's no guarantee. There's no guarantee unless someone is personally working with you and you're working with that, and he or she says, okay, we're gonna go and do this, we're gonna go and do that. If the crowd, whatever, if the camera lens is not working right, it's not getting that angle right, it is what it is. It's no promises. You want to get to the top. You want to be seen. You want to have that name that everybody can remember and whatnot. You want the household name, but
it's not just only about who wins and who loses. It's about the treatment that the
you signed something. You should have said something and whatnot. Internet was out. It was still in the early, well, not super early stages, because I was in the 90s, but it was out. You could have said something, and if you didn't say nothing, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not accepting what they went through was right or anything, but I'm getting tired of folks when stuff is going wrong. Why are you being quiet? Why
are you going ahead and do it anyway? So, like another example to one of the models that were on the show, a black woman who had a noticeable gap teeth, and Tyra Banks herself told her that you got to get that fixed if you want to be America's next top model. And at first, the young lady told Tyra, I don't want to do it. You know, this gap teeth is my signature, is something I've had for a long time and what have you. And Tyra was just enticing her to get it done. And so she went ahead and got it done. And that also changed her life as well, because now, you know, your gap teeth is gone, and she still lost. She still didn't.
It's never a guarantee. It's never a guarantee. She was looking at beauty and whatnot, and America's folks. Give me an example. I sort of dated someone who had a gap many years ago, decades ago. I couldn't stand looking at that daggone gap, man. I never told her, but I didn't like it. Certain things America people are just not going to like. Now, today is different because we have actresses who I just can't think of her name, but I know it's a black actress, and I believe she won a Grammy. I believe it was last year or something like that, or 24. And she has a gap and whatnot, but she's a great actress though. So I don't know if the camera covered it up and whatnot, because we have more technology compared back then that could have probably been done. If that ever could have been done, then she would still have it. And if she could have won or not, I don't know if that would have changed anything, but we're decades ago is totally different to how things will work now because of how cameras can be utilized. But back then, you had to do what you had to do to get to that level of lookness. Just being real, because no one wants to see it on a regular basis.
I do. And let me say this for a record. I love women with gap teeth.
Okay.
I want to put that out there. Okay. So I don't want the female listeners and the ladies to be like, oh, Sean and DJ Roland don't like women with gap teeth. No, DJ Roland don't really care for women that got gap teeth. But for me, oh man, a woman with gap teeth, I love it. I love it. If you like it, I love it. I just want to put that out there for clarification purposes.
I'm just going about what I experienced.
But see, the thing about it is, people are going to be born with some type of imperfection. Mm-hmm. There are people that got a big ass mole next to their nose. Mm-hmm. There are people who got a square head, a Lego head, like T.I. said in the diss song towards 50 Cent. I get it. I get that. Okay. I just thought I'd sneak that in. I just thought I'd sneak that in the conversation there. But people are gonna be born. Look, I'm 5'8". DJ Rome is a bit taller than me, and then there are men that are taller than me that I hang out with or whatever. But I was born to look like this, So imagine me, DJ Rollum, and to our listeners out there, imagine if somebody tells me, well, Sean, in order for you to be America's next top model or whatever, you need to change your nose because I don't like the way your nose is. Or Sean, you're going to need to grow an inch or two in order to be a basketball player or to be a part of a basketball team. You 5'8", so you need to go do some surgery or something to grow a bit more taller and all this other stuff. I mean, imagine being told that and how that affects you mentally, psychologically. People are born with imperfection. So, and even though I agree with what DJ Rome said earlier, you have the power to say no and what have you. People just have a problem with saying no when you feel like you're in a situation where you're using this opportunity to get to the next level in your life because you ain't trying to go back to the projects.
Okay.
You ain't trying to be poor,
I got something. That's why I wanted to look it up, just make sure I say it right. So what do you tell about them females getting them BBLs then?
Don't do it. I don't encourage women to go get BBLs.
Oh, I mean, but they think by getting that they'll get them a man. They want to show themselves off and whatnot, and average folks like us, will go to that level in doing that. So when you on a national stage and a person who's been a Victoria's Secret's model and whatnot, she broke the color barrier with Victoria's Secrets, is telling you to get rid of that gap. No guarantee, but you want to attract the judges and the audience.
And the women that go out and get the BBL, by the way, they do that for business purposes, especially for the strippers. I mean, I've heard female strippers being told by their bosses that they got to grow an inch or they got to get a bigger butt in order to work at their club.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that before.
Right. I'm just relating that because you had to alter your body to get to where you want to get to.
Right.
I just had to go to BBLs, that's very popular and whatnot. So if you got to back to the person who had a gap, Tara said you need to get rid of it to get to that level. She didn't say you're going to win when you get it done. She just said that had to be done if you want to get to that level.
I mean, that's
like, okay, I'm gonna put myself in this. In order for me to be like the top DJ up like where JC is, where Jazzy Jeff is, Grandmaster Flash is, all that, I gotta be scratching the hell out of shit. I gotta scratch and whatnot, and I don't scratch. I'll blend, but I don't scratch. But if I gotta do it to be up there, I gotta do what I gotta do. Change sort of change what I've been doing for all these years, all these decades, and whatnot. So
I also think too to add some caveat to the conversation. I think for a lot of the ladies, because let's be fair, a lot of the women that came on that show back then were in their teenage years, their adult late
teenage, yeah.
Like they were like 19, 20, 21 and what have you. So women of that age at the time, they were already like in their naive type of mindset, if you will. Like if you're being told at a younger age that you need to go out and get this, you need to do this, you need that and stuff like that, it's gonna make you feel some type of way, but then you're gonna be like, all right, I'll go and do it. If this is what's going to take for me to get to the next level and get me out of my circumstance that I'm in right now, okay, I'll do it. You know what I mean? I'll go ahead and do it, right? But that's, you're allowing someone to define who you should be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that the women that came on that show before should have not let a show like America's Next Top Model to define who they are. Only you should identify who you are. You shouldn't let somebody like Tyra or anybody else from that show define who you should be and who you should be, who you are.
You're saying it correct. You're saying it correct. And I agree with 100% and then some what you just said, because I'm not gonna let even if I was younger, I wouldn't have gone. It's the mindset because of the age. How bad do you really want it? Like if I was told in my teenage years what I just said about myself, who knows? But right now, at the 51, I can care less. I'm good.
You can care less about what other people think.
Yeah, but when you're younger, you get influenced a lot better unless you are raised a certain way and whatnot. That is all about being raised a certain way. And that tells you your mindset. So but you can't.
I mean, America's Next Top Model is no different from what goes on in the entertainment industry all the time.
Right.
Because outside of modeling, there's artists that are being told they should look like this, they should change this, change that. In the music industry, in the television industry, in the film industry. And that's why I asked earlier, was this a waste of time for America's Next Top Model documentary to be put out there? But it does give an opportunity, a platform for some of the women that have been on that show that didn't benefit from it, or may have benefited a little bit, but never seen the same type of success as Eva or Takora. It was just a game. It was just like a game show.
It was a game show. They got a lot of ratings. That's how it lasted so long. Money was made. Too bad the models didn't get as much as they probably could have gotten and whatnot. It is what it is, man. And that's just how entertainment is. When you try and get on certain levels of entertainment, you're going to get used. You're going to get used. So it's like, be lucky and be like those actresses, or like, let's like now these days when something is so old, like can be in a documentary so I can get some money, so
right.
Because their life is not where it would like it to be, something like that, because they might went totally a whole different route from what they did 20 years ago.
Yeah. Let me say this one last thing before we move on. Because in the world of social media, right, and people that go on TikTok and go on Instagram and blast how bad this show was in the early 2000s, and for people to tear down Tyra and the people behind America's Next Top Model for putting out a show like this and what have you, it shows the hypocrisy. And I said this a little bit to you, DJ Roll 'em offline. It shows the hypocrisy of people that are going after these shows and commenting on TikTok and saying all this stuff and what have you, because newsflash, people, and I might get flack for saying this, but the same people that are saying all this bad stuff about how America's Next Top Model is and this, that, and the other, these are the same people that watch Pop the Balloon. Let me say it one more time for the people in the back. The same people that complain about how bad and effed up America's Next Top Model was in the early 2000s are the same people that watch Pop the Balloon. Okay, so let me tell you why I say that. All right, if you watch Pop the Balloon, that's been on for a few years now. Pop the balloon. If you know what it's about, if you know, you know. I guarantee you that in 15, 20 years from now, those women that have been on that show, Pop the Balloon, are going to come out in 15 to 20 years later and say that going on that show was the worst thing that they have ever done. Of how they were exploited, of how they were mistreated behind the scenes, and how I overlooked this guy because he had this and he had that. He had a short nose, he had a gap tooth, and he had gap teeth and all this other stuff. And you know, the same thing with America's Next Top Model. Because let's be fair, people. Let's be fair. I got to take them to school real quick, DJ Roland, because let's be fair. America's Next Top Model, and I said this a few moments ago, is no different from American Idol and all the other reality shows that came before and after American Idol. Everybody watched that show. Millions and millions of people watched that show. That kept the show going on for years and years and years. And it was on the same network, UPN, that some of you Negroes boycotted certain shows from UPN. But y'all did not boycott America's Next Top Model. Let's be honest, people. There were shows on UPN that you found offensive and y'all boycotted. Homeboys in Outer Space. That only lasted one season because the NAACP and all these organizations and the viewers and stuff, y'all found that to be offensive, degrading towards Black people, this, that, and the other. Y'all took that show off the air, off of UPN. And then there was another show, and I'm actually going to go online and make sure that I get the correct name of the show. It's a show that Cheek McBride, the actor Cheek McBride, was on. I'm going to get it in just a few moments here. And I should have had this before I talked about it. My bad, people. You know, I'm a researcher in real life. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this right here. Because I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll tonight, DJ Roll. Let's see if we can get this up here. But, okay. So, my Google is not Googling right now, unfortunately. Okay, it's saying, okay, matter of fact, let's do this. Okay, what's my research team? I'm going to have to do it off my phone here. So there was a show on UPN besides Homeboys in Outer Space. And the show centered around, it took place, I want to say, like in the 1700s, 1800s, during slavery time. Mm-hmm. And this show caused a lot of controversy on the air to where the show got canceled. And I'm trying to find it here while we're talking. Let me see. What is the name of this show? Oh, this is so horrible. Let's see. There we go. Because I want to make sure I say it correctly.
Okay.
The Secret Diary of Desmond Pfeiffer.
Of Desmond what?
Desmond Pfeiffer. It was a short-lived American sitcom that aired on UPN from October 5th to October 26th. And it caused a lot of controversy because of the storyline in regards to a Black English nobleman named Desmond Pfeiffer, played by, of course, Cheek McBride, and chased out of the United Kingdom due to gambling debts, becomes President Abraham Lincoln's valet. In the show, he serves as the intelligent backbone of a Civil War era White House populated by drunkards and other folks. So pretty much it was making a mockery of that time in American history. And that show got canceled because people found it offensive and boycotted it. So just like Homeboys in Outer Space, that show was off the air. So why haven't people did the same thing to America's Next Top Model, even though it wasn't no Homeboys in Outer Space, it wasn't no Desmond Pfeiffer, it wasn't no sitcom, it was a reality show. But there was a part of the show where it was offensive to where Tyra and her team had all these different people of different nationalities go to Africa or go somewhere and pretend they were black. Like they had a white female model portrayed as an African in one of the episodes. But there was no call to action to that on UPN.
How history repeats itself. That's how I see it. Like if something is not right, like, I mean, I'm going even further back, when something is causing Caucasian America to put up an uproar, they get rid of it. And that's why certain things survive and why certain things get discontinued. So if they don't like it, it ain't going to be working. So now UPN was supposed to be like our black channel to look at outside of BET at that time. But if Caucasian world doesn't like it, it ain't going to be aired.
And it did. And to be fair, DJ Roland, to be fair, America's Next Top Model did air on a channel that was heavily demographic to African American viewers, to black people. It
didn't bother Caucasian American. That's the thing.
But then what happened was when it switched over to the CW in 2006 and new players started coming into the mix, then that's when shows like America's Next Top Model shifted. It changed.
New ownership. It's new ownership.
And they talked about this in the documentary about how America's Next Top Model wasn't the same when the 3 judges got fired. And I really think it was because of new management, like you said. And they didn't talk about that in the documentary. They only talked about the new boss coming in and that Tyra Banks was the last one, and she either had to fire these 3 guys that she have known for a long time, that and the chemistry was right. The chemistry was there between Tyra and those 3 judges.
They had another vision and it failed.
Yeah. And then when they got fired and Tyra was the last person standing, it just wasn't the same. It wasn't the same when that merger happened. People forgot about that.
Yeah. It's always a trip. You can never be 100% accurate when you merge, thinking like when you merge something big, it's going to change for the better. That's why it's like, I'm just going by this. I'm going by my personal experiences and what I know. When you get a new owner of a company from a merger, you hope that too many changes won't happen. But if the owner wants to do some changes, it's going to happen. CW changed a lot of stuff that a lot of folks did not like. And that's why CBW failed, because you didn't want to listen to what the viewers wanted to see. You think by changing, putting your ideas out instead of like, let me try 1 or 2 episodes. No, you're going to, put in 1 or 2 episodes of your own to see how they will react. But you change what was already being good to thinking it's going to get better. And it failed. And you lost billions of dollars because of that. Because you were too daggone greedy, saying, yeah, I did it. I took this to the next level.
Yeah, when I saw the merge of Warner Brothers and CBS, when I saw that of merging these shows with these other shows, I didn't know whether to be excited or whether to see the writings on the wall and be like, oh, this is not going to end well. It's not.
It's not.
It didn't. It didn't. But again, ladies and gentlemen, that don't understand the business when it comes to broadcasting, especially a reality show. Here's the breakdown of things really quick, okay? Tyra Banks' show America's Next Top Model was a show that was created by Tyra Banks. It says in the title, creator, executive producer. She and her team pitched it to the big 4 networks. And this was all explained in the documentary. They pitched it to NBC, CBS, ABC, and Fox. And they all turned the show down. So who was able to pick it up? Obviously, UPN. And Tyra Banks being an African-American woman, of course, it just makes sense. Like a Black recognizable woman who been in shows and movies. And let's not forget, before America's Next Top Model, Tyra Banks was in dozens of episodes from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air that we talked about before.
Mm-hmm.
She was in Higher Learning opposite Omar Epps.
Mm-hmm.
And I still feel some type of way about how she went out in that movie, by the way. Just FYI.
Oh, yeah, I know.
FYI. What is that? What did Omar Epps say? Johnny!
Yeah. What was that? God dang it, that group. Oh man. Thinking about that song. That's basically because of that too. From the soundtrack.
Oh, you talking about Raphael Sadiq?
Yeah. Ask of You.
Yeah, Ask of You.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Omar Epps should have got an Oscar off of that.
Yep.
Off of that part. Anyway. So yeah, I mean, she's been doing her thing before America's Next Top Model, but it just took her to the next level with that show. But anyway, she pitched the show to these big 4 networks. They turned them down, and they were able to pick up, UPN was able to pick up America's Next Top Model. All right, so here's the lesson, boys and girls. When you pitch a show to a major network and they green lit the show, it's no longer your show anymore. It's no longer your show anymore. Even though you are the original creator of that show, the major company is going to come in and bring all these different people into the equation and dictate and tell the creator what she can put on the show and what she can't have on the show. Because going back to the documentary, Tyra said about the woman with the gap teeth, she said that she had agents telling Tyra that she got to remove that gap teeth. She got to remove it. She got to remove it. She got to remove it, right? But people still looked at Tyra Banks as the woman who was the monster in that situation
because she said,
yeah, but she had agents. So that means that she had people dictate what they can allow, what they can't allow on the show, because Top Model became no longer hers. Now that you are putting the show on the property of United Paramount Network. And that's another thing too, people, that was not mentioned on the show, in the documentary. UPN stands for United Paramount Network. So at that time, Paramount was owned by Viacom. This is before Skydance. Paramount was owned by Viacom. Now we're talking about corporations and big wigs coming in and take over this, that, and the other. So I cannot really put too much of the blame on Tyra and the judges for some of the things that happened on that show.
Right.
I believe that the corporate wigs behind UPN, United Paramount Network, were also involved in some of the things that happened on the show.
I'm not surprised. And I got 3 words that go to what you just said. 3 words. Ready?
I'm ready.
In living color.
In Living Color was a variety show that aired on Fox, people, created by who? The Wayans family. That show only lasted how many seasons? Only several seasons.
Yes, but the first 2 were the better ones, maybe 3. But during I believe the 3rd season is when things really started changing and whatnot, because they removed Keenan Ivory from that, who was the original creator of it.
Right.
So everything you just said, if y'all remember In Living Color and see the changes that happened over the years with that show that was on Fox, it was 90% black. At the end of that show, it started to be about 60% white.
There you go. Welcome to the television business, people.
But that was then. I don't know. It's totally different now, but that's basically how it was in the 90s. And we're talking about America's Top Model. That was early 2000.
It's
same
thing.
scenario. Same scenario.
Same scenario. Same thing. Same thing. When you have an idea, because people come up with ideas all the time, DJ Rolo, and you pitch it to a network and they love it and they take it, you no longer own that. And that also means too that they can fire you at any time and replace you with somebody else. I give you all a prime example, and this is the first time I'm talking about this on the Beat Break Morning Show. I once upon a time pitched a show called The Mental Space on 1380 WAOK in Atlanta.
Here we go.
Talking about reliving experiences. I came up with the idea of putting a 2-hour mental health show that has never been on terrestrial radio in the history of terrestrial radio, especially on a black talk radio station in a competitive market like Atlanta. The people behind the scenes saw my proposal and they greenlit the show. I thought going into it, I thought I still owned the rights to the show. The show became a game changer. But when I wanted to depart from 1380 WAOK, I wanted to take the show with me. Guess what happened with the show, ladies and gentlemen? The show stayed on the air, but with a different host. And there was some tensions behind the scenes that happened because I was the creator of the show. And I could not take the show with me due to the fact that it became WAOK's Odyssey, because Odyssey owns WAOK. It became someone else's intellectual property, IP for short. Now, DJ Rollum and I go back to the days of Love 860 AM WAEC Atlanta, where I pitched a show called The Beat Break. Now, here's the thing, people. When I went on the air in 2010, I had to pay for airtime to get the show up and running. And then the show after 6 months, because I honored that commitment to paying for radio airtime, I was able to do the show for free with my fellow colleagues at the time, with my fellow co-hosts. And it became an in-house program. We call that in-house programming in radio. But what happened was that the corporate people behind the radio station at the time in 2011 started bringing in new people, and they changed up management. And all of a sudden, our show goes from being on a Thursday night from 8 to 10 to now midnight to 3 a.m., Saturday night going into Sunday morning. Did we lose some listeners? Absolutely. Did we gain some listeners? Absolutely. We gained an extra hour, which was cool because we were just on for 2 hours on Thursday night. We were must-see radio. Just like on Thursday nights on NBC, they call it must-see TV. We were must-see radio. Now, what is the difference between Beat Break and the mental space? I still had to pay for radio airtime when our show migrated over to Saturday night, Sunday mornings from 12 to 3 a.m. So when you're paying for airtime, people, that show is yours. And when I left Love 860 AM in 2012 of March, I took the show with me. No lawyers involved, no legal. I own the rights to Beat Break Radio. And that's why 16 years later, after me and DJ Rollum and Sharia Thomas and Star Kells and everybody else that has been involved with Beat Break Radio, that's why we still do Beat Break Radio 16 years later.
There you go. There you go.
So, what's the lesson in all this, people? You have to be able to own your own content. When you own your own content, you have more of a say-so of what goes on during your show. You are in control of what happens, what will not happen. That's it. Tyler Perry, who I consider, me and DJ Rollum, and maybe some of you all will agree, we'll consider as Tyler Perry as the most genius entertainers and filmmakers in history. House of Pain is the longest running family, let me emphasize black family sitcom in TV history. You want to know why, boys and girls? Because Tyler Perry owns House of Pain. Tyler Perry purchased airtime at TBS to air the first season of House of Pain. And since then, he kept purchasing and purchasing and purchasing airtime, getting that money back, of course. And now House of Pain is what, on its 12th, 13th season? I'm just exaggerating the number.
Right. You're saying it right. Yeah.
Yeah. And guess what, people? The same cast members are on that show. You know why? Because Tyler Perry owns his content. TBS and all these other media conglomerate networks are not involved in the creative process. Only Tyler Perry is, just like with his other stuff. So that's why you don't hear a lot of bad things and bad stuff that has happened on the set of Tyler Perry's projects. It's because Tyler Perry owns his content. So from shows like America's Next Top Model and all the other shows that we have seen being pitched to the big four networks and even the networks outside of the big four, like your UPNs and the WB, yeah, you're going to hear horror stories. Because the people that pitch these shows too don't own it. Living single, people. Why do you think the actors and actresses complain so much about the behind the scenes issues with living single? Because the person that they worked with during the course of that show on Fox pitched it to multiple networks until Fox picked it up. And of course, Fox was like what UPN was back in the day. A network, a house for African-American programming. But yeah, you heard a lot of horror stories about living single from the actors and actresses. Even though it was a great show, it was one of the most classic African-American TV shows to me in history. Mm-hmm. We heard a lot of horrific stories because none of the people on that show owned the show. Who owned Living Single? Fox and Warner Brothers. Fox, Warner Brothers owned it. And at that time, when you have people that are not from the community involved, there is going to be tension on set because people don't understand our culture.
You got that right.
So, of course, there's going to be horrific stories. I think I preached enough, DJ Roller, for tonight.
Yeah.
I think yeah. I don't think we're going to have time to talk about the
we can on another time. Yeah, on another
time. I just wanted people to understand how this TV business works.
Because they don't know. A lot of them don't know. They think like what we do is as simple and easy and whatnot. No, you got to know content. That's the phrase. You got to know the content. And if you don't know the content, you don't know what the heck to say when the mic is in front of you. You don't want to just ramble. So you got that knowledge, you understand it. You got your degree, so you understand. A lot of folks don't even have a degree in that and be wondering, what? Huh? But I have a bachelor's or what? I'm like, yeah, but what is your bachelor's in? You know, my bachelor's is in sociology. So I understand, large groups and whatnot. And got a certification in medical billing. So I understand dealing with coding. So I know it's a little quick soapbox, but it's basically how insurances pay certain companies to do certain things. So I have that experience. You had that experience in communications on how radio and TV works because you did both industries.
And I got a bachelor's degree in media production and fine
media productions. Okay. I thought it was communications, but it's media production. Okay. See, that's even better. So media production. So there you go.
Yeah.
So you got to know what you're saying and whatnot, and just don't say it just to be rambling and whatnot, unless you got a lot of good resources to use that are legitimate, not just whatever someone posts something. No, you can't use that as a resource where someone posts something. You have to go to the actual source, or a legitimate source, to explain your topic.
Yeah. And what better platform can you get this information other than the Beat Break Morning Show? That's why we have it at the bottom there to support us, Cash App, $Reach One Communications, because you're not going to get this information from other shows.
Got that right.
You're not going to get it from the Breakfast Club. No shades of the Breakfast Club. Even though we've been around longer than they have, but that's a whole different conversation. But this is why, people. This is why you're not going to get this kind of information from any other show but the Beat Break Morning Show. We just tell it like it is.
Mm-hmm.
We tell it like it is, people. But yeah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I mean, what a what a good way to, in the show like we love to entertain, we love to play good music and have great conversations. But I think there's still people to this very day, DJ Rollum, that want to get in the business. They want to be actors and actresses. They want to be the next superstar, but they don't know the business. And then when the business happens to them, then that's when they learn it the hard way.
You said it correctly.
That's when they learn it the hard way. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, people, but other than donate $Reach One Communications to support the show. DJ Rollum, where can people follow you?
Always follow me at DJ Rollum on IG, X, formerly Twitter, and DJ Rollum Townsend on Facebook. And I got some repeat customers. One of them asked me to, since I DJ'd at their school, they want me to DJ for their son's wedding. So hey,
hey man, that's a big shout out.
Yeah,
big shout out, man. You gotta give them. All right, y'all make sure y'all check out DJ Rollum Productions. Hit him up for all your DJ services, needs, and everything. He is out there in the community doing big things. Follow me at Sean Garvey ATL and other social media platforms. We're everywhere: TikTok, Facebook, Fanbase. Just type in. You can also type in Reach One Communications. You can type in Honey Movies and TV, and everything is on SeanGarveyOnline.com. By the way, too, we're gonna be adding some stuff on our website so that way we can inform people on other platforms that we are on and where they can follow all of us at. By the way, even though we didn't have time to really go and dive too much into the party from last weekend, I'll tell you what, people, I'm going to talk about it on the remix this Saturday morning from 12 to 3 a.m. How about that? I'll talk about it with DJ Yogi this Saturday morning, 12 to 3 a.m. on WRFG 89.3 FM. So check me out there on Saturday mornings with DJ Yogi, and I'm looking forward to talking about it because they're I gotta get, and I'm known, DJ Rollum, to get a lot of things off my chest, but there's just some things I just gotta get off my chest about people that tend to heckle, during a set or what have you. We'll get into that this Saturday on the remix show.
All right.
But shout out to Sharia, shout out to you, DJ Rollum, and shout out to everybody that attended the
Sarkells and the company and whatnot. So we just appreciate everything that our fam does and whatnot, from far and near and everything like that. So we just appreciate it every single time.
16 years.
Yeah.
16 years, man. 16 more years, man. So continue to keep supporting the movement. If you missed any of this morning's or tonight's highlights, we got this show and many more episodes on demand on our YouTube channel, Reach One Network. Just make sure you follow us there, like, share, and subscribe. And we will be back soon with another Beat Break Morning Show.
All right.
I'm already thinking of the weekend already, DJ Roll.
I ain't there yet, but I can't wait my daggone self.
I know, man. All right, y'all. We are out of here, and see you on the next show. Peace.
Your ass up and wipe that crust out your eye. You're locked into the hottest morning show in the country, the Beat Break Morning Show. It's your girl Trina. Let me kickstart your day.